히드라 하다가 나오는 뮤탈스가 얼마나 당하면 까다롭습니까?
네, 서킷 브레이커 경기 바로 두 번째 경기 가보도록 하겠습니다.
Alright, here we go into game number 2. Oh, I better give Larva a point here. And it's time to see what's going to happen with Bisu. Come on, Bisu, pull yourself together. I mean, as amusing I think it would be for Larva to beat Bisu, I think in terms of the tournament, it's probably better to have Bisu win. As much of a Bisu anti-fan as I am, I'm going to have to just accept the fact that we probably want Bisu in the finals against Hero. Anyway, we're on Circuit Breaker. So, we're in cross positions. Looks like Bisu bottom left. And Larva top right. So, it doesn't look like we're going to see anything too different here. Just going to go for the forward fast expand again. Highly doubt Bisu would proxy gate Larva. I guess we'll see. So we're gonna scout vertical, gonna see nothing there, all that good jazz. Last game we saw Larva go over pool. Could possibly do that again here, that's fairly safe. I think I've mentioned this before, but Bisu, I noticed when he was streaming recently, cannon rushes 12 hatching Zergs a lot. So, and he does it very effectively too. It's not just, you know, random, you know, D-level cannon rush. It's like, you know, walling in behind minerals and all that nasty stuff. So probably safe to go pool first. And we do see Larva is in fact going for the overpool. Now looks like we've got the double probe scout going out. Very, very standard. The second probe actually going along the bottom side instead of just straight through the middle of the map. I don't know if that's just... I guess that's intentional. I'm pretty sure if you just right-click the bottom right base, your probe would go through the middle. I don't know if he was looking for an overlord or something like that, but he sees his opponent now. He sees it's an overpull. He's going to maybe try and block this hatchery a little bit, but he's not going to get there in time. And that's all well and good, that's fine. Even if he did block the hatchery a little bit, Larva could just make 6 lings instead, since it is an overpull, so getting your hatchery blocked isn't as big a deal as in other openings. So yeah, so far everything is exactly the same as last game. Bisu, Forge, then Nexus. Larva going overpool, expand. Looks like 4 lings this time. I believe there were only 2 last game. Possibly because Larva hasn't, or doesn't know where his opponent is. So last game, of course, was just on a 2-player map, could go straight over to Bisu's base. This time we're on a big 4-player map. He's not 100% sure, so he's going to make 2 extra links for safety, I think, is probably the thinking behind that. I can see he's saying those 3 links cross map. I believe he's got a drone hitting to the top left just to check things out or something like that. And he has actually made a hatchery. This is very, very interesting to me. Rather than go for the bottom right natural hatchery, he's gone for the top left. This is very strange. I don't understand why he would go to the top left instead of the bottom right one, because, I mean, the air-to-air distance and even the ground distance is going to be closer now to Bisu's natural compared to the bottom right. Actually, I'm not 100% sure about the ground distance. I feel like it might be slightly closer, but probably not by that much. But the air-to-air distance is certainly much closer. So Larva taking that top left base, on the one hand, it is slightly riskier. You know, if it goes to a long game, it's going to be much easier for Bisu to harass that base. On the other hand, if Larva just goes for some kind of like 3-hatch Hydra right now, that will provide closer reinforcements to the attack. So he could just like bust Bisu, which would be quite funny. Oh man. You can tell I'm a good Protoss, because, you know, I find it amusing when Bisu loses. And Larva once again going for the Ling run by. Oh my god, Bisu, you know, he's got all these fancy tricks in PvZ. He's got the amazing, you know, Sarah control. He's got sweet multitasking, but can somebody tell this guy how to wall properly and, you know, block against Zerglings? These were not speedlings. There weren't even that many. And yet, 3 of them are still in the main base. Oh my god, Bisu, this is just schoolboy PvZ errors right here. Anyway, he hasn't actually lost a probe yet though, which is good. It's actually really good. He just killed a Zergling. Oh my god, he's killed 2 Zerglings and hasn't lost a probe yet. So Bisu, I guess against the non-speedlings is not overly concerned. To be fair, even in the last game, in the initial run by when 4 speedlings got into his base, he didn't actually lose that much compared to what he could have. So yeah, good job by Bisu there. Really great defense. Didn't even like do some massive pulls. He only pulled the few probes that were necessary. That's another thing, is that a lot of players, when they have like a few lings in their base attacking their probes, they'll just like pull everything and stack all the probes to one patch, and that just costs you like a million minerals in mining time anyway. So you wanna just pull as few probes as possible when dealing with that kind of thing. So looks like we now got another counter zealot attack here. Bisu. Loving these counterattacks. I think this is a very fantastic idea as well. Although in this case it's not going to do nearly as well as last game because there isn't that fancy SimCity, but a bit of cute micro. And oh my god, not again. Are you serious? Oh my god, this Larva guy. This Larva guy with his run bys. I can't even believe it. Man, it's like I'm watching, you know, South Park, the Korean version. And by South Park I mean the Polish player, not like the cartoon. I just realized that would probably be really confusing to those of you who don't watch foreign Broodor games. Basically, South Park is a Polish Zerg player who basically just only makes Zerglings and tries to win with them like that. Okay, maybe that's not 100% fair to him, but he's pretty cheesy. He's pretty cheesy. Anyway, we got some drones transferring over to the top left natural there. Looks like Larva. Well, I was gonna say he's given up on his Zergling shenanigans, but as you can see, there are actually more speedlings out on the map. I don't really see how this is gonna continue being effective as Bisu gets more zealots out. I think he needs to just stop and make some drones, because this, yeah, see, there's 3 zealots now. I don't think he can actually get in anymore. But you know what he might do? He might just leave them kind of on the bottom a little bit and wait for the zealots to move out to attack. You know, see, there's like this nice juicy exposed base there with no sunken, so he could just wait for the zealots to go out and attack, and then go for a backstab with Zerglings, and that could be really effective. But the problem for him is now that he's actually losing a lot of mining time here at his natural, he's actually just pulled all his Zerglings back to deal with this. This one zealot is actually doing way more damage than it should. But look at this Larva now getting the top left main as his 4th base, and well, 1 drone down, 2 drone. Nope. That's alright, 1 drone already makes the zealot worth it, so it's fine. Oh, and here's the counterattack. So Bisu now the one on the mega offensive. Larva at least is keeping the Corsairs away, but this is the problem when you go for mass Zerglings and a bunch of zealots run out, and you're not actually in good position. Oh man, this is really painful. Where are the Zerglings? I mean, they're all the way back at the natural. Oh yeah. Larva playing a little bit greedy here, getting his 4th base without a single sunken. And is now sort of paying the price. I guess he was hoping that Bisu would be a little bit more careful with the zealots, kind of fearing a backstab with Zerglings. But Bisu was just having none of that. Although it looks like Larva is going to take care of this now. No, never mind. More zealots coming out. At least the zealots on a +1. They do have speed now. I don't know if +1 is going to be done soon. If these zealots get +1, they'll be way more of a threat to these Zerglings. But as it stands, not so much. Looks like the Bisu going to split his forces. 1 zealot staying here at the natural. The other 3 going here into the main base. Looks like these 3 aren't going to be able to do too much here. Just going to chill behind the natural and get that nice little position. And the one at the natural. Sorry, did I say main or natural? I don't even know anymore. Bisu's multitasking is so good that I can't even keep up as the observer. But it looks like Larva has managed to keep up and has now got his 4 bases up. Of course, he doesn't actually have these saturated yet. But, you know, if he now just plays defensively, he's got a sunken colony here at this natural. If he just, you know, SimCities a little bit, has the sunkens, you know, blocks things off with the Zerglings to stop the zealots from running in, he will be able to defend these fairly easily against these speedlots, which are +1 now, so he's got to be a little bit more careful against them. But yeah, Larva should be just fine here. 4 speedlots heading over to his natural, but he's got a sunken there. He's got a wall. Should be able to block, I think, if he just holds positions in the gap or something. Although, ooh, it looks like the zealots can actually sneak around the bottom side out of range of the sunken. That's a little bit annoying. Meanwhile, ooh, the Course is coming in, but a lot of Scourge as well, and Spore Colony's already in place here. So Bisu trying to do what he can. Man, Bisu, though, really also being just as aggressive as Larva here. Just 2 really aggressive players in this matchup from both sides here. Larva with his Zerglings, Bisu with his Zealots. This is some really exciting stuff here. No sitting around, you know, behind your walls, no camping, trying to, you know, get a certain supply before moving out. This is just non-stop action. Now, DT has actually managed to sneak around the defenses at the front here and just block mining. You can see the drones actually was chilling on the ramp to make sure the DT doesn't run into the main, because if the DT actually gets into the main, it'll be very bad news, because because there's no detection there. The Overlords won't be able to go in there because of the Corsairs. And that is actually a good number of Corsairs. Now you can see they were basically one-shotting those Scourge, which is quite problematic. And oh man, that was not the good way to use a Scourge. He needed to just keep the Scourge over the Spore to kind of support each other. However, we do have a lot of Zerglings coming in here. There's 2 cannons, but nothing blocking. He can't go in. No, he's actually going to go for the mineral only. Okay, that's where all the Zealots were. I was wondering why there was nothing blocking there. The Zealots were actually down at the 3rd base. Bisu, I think, is going to be able to take that. And is also still killing these Overlords. No Overlord speed yet, and only the single Spore colony is not quite enough to deter that many Corsairs from taking down your Overlords. But here we go, a big run-in. Do we have Storm yet? No, it looks like just gonna make an Archon here to try and help against this, and because he doesn't want to get the High Templar sniped, the cannons fall, but the Zerglings are a little bit stuck now. I love that gateway placement, and by that I mean it doesn't actually block, so I guess I don't love it anymore. You know, that was just kind of like a one-night stand right there with that gateway. It was good for the few seconds that I thought it blocked there, but it doesn't block, so you know, it's all right. Dumped. All right, so what's going on here? Okay, we've got more Scourge, we've got +1 air carapace, but we've got a big ass Zealot Archon army moving into this 3rd base. Now what he needs to do is he needs to target the Archons with the Sunken. That's generally the principle, and then use the units to defend. I don't know if he has enough though. Oh man, this is a problem. This is a problem. We need units. Larva, we need units. He could be dead here. I think he's dead. I think he's dead. Oh, he's not happy about that. GG. Bisu evens up the score 1-1 here. Man, that was an intense game. Non-stop attacking. I like it. I like it. That's what I want to see. None of this sitting around, you know, camping on 3 base for the Protoss and Zergs just, you know, taking 6 hatches and 4 bases and just goofing off behind his wall. No. No, we're just gonna keep attacking. Whew. Man.